Hi there. My name's Fred Kennedy from 102.1 The Edge, and welcome once again to three things we didn't have time to talk about today. First up, the weather. Yes, we had a really bad cold snap just last night, and everyone was thinking that it's going to be cold for another few days, but don't worry, it's not going to be so cold and windy. Look at that. Coordinated. See, I was about to say that, it's not even really that it's been cold, it's just that it's been windy. And also, if you walk slowly, let's just say you have a 5-year-old and you have to walk with them to school, and your wife tells you that you have to put snow pants and boots on them, so then they walk really slow. It feels colder because the lack of blood flow in the wind makes your ears really hurty. And then your son wants to tell you about dinosaurs and Lego, and you're like, yes, I know that dinosaurs aren't real. I know. And also, apparently, funnel web spiders are a big problem in Australia. That's something he feels the need to tell me about. But it's going to get super sunny this weekend! Not actually that sunny, though. It's actually only going to go up to 3 degrees or something. So I suppose instead of this guy, we should go this guy. Because, look at this. This is a sensible sweater for when it's 4 to 5 degrees outside, and this kind of expression of, should I sit on the patio or should I not sit on the patio? Listen, guy in your stripy sweater, don't ever sit on a patio unless it's 20 degrees or warmer. All those jack hats that are it's 16, let's go sit on a patio. Why? You want to be cold? Let's wear our coats and sit outside and have a beer. Let's not. Let's go inside, watch the game, and not have to worry about getting a cold and cold ears and cold hands, and then they're idiots. So, aside from that, what else we got? Oh, yes, plastic surgery. This is a new trend. People are spending thousands of dollars on plastic surgery, not for themselves to have these beautiful, luscious lips, but on their dogs. That's right, dog plastic surgery is a booming business right now. People are getting things like facelifts for their dogs, they're getting their skin done, they're getting their lips done, their teeth. They're putting what's that where you put a thing on your teeth? Caps?
Veneers.
Veneers. They're getting dog veneers. That's a legitimate thing, Also dog balls. That's something else they're doing. They're getting new testicles for your dog that gets neutered. Apparently, the dogs that get neutered have lower senses of self-esteem. This according to dog psychologists who charge you a lot of money to spew garbage. That's the best job in the world, a dog psychologist. Who's going to say you're wrong about anything? No one. Because the only people that visit you are all idiots anyways. You know what it is, though? It's if you get, plastic surgery for your dog, you're essentially saying, I don't like orphans, is what you're saying. There's millions of children starving in the world right now, and instead, you bought testicles for your dog after you already cut them off. Horrible. Just horrible, horrible people. An ugly dog is a statement of pride when you say, okay, hold on a second, how can I formulate this properly? 20 fed children is more important than a good-looking dog. Am I making sense? Is this making sense? Okay, good. Moving on. Uh-oh. Bros. A big blow was dealt to bro and bro-related culture. Apparently, there is now scientific evidence to suggest that mixing energy drinks and alcohol is very detrimental to your health. Here's the reasons. Let me explain the science. Normally, if you drink a lot of this, you tend to weeble and wobble around and then you go to sleep. But if you combine this with this into this, normally in a beautiful goblet of crunking, you can stay up later and you do more dumb things and then you get yourself hurt. And this is actually coming out with a really weird bit of timing because just yesterday the Toronto Board of Health was saying they're looking at a citywide ban on energy drinks, which may decrease the levels of extreme that we have here in the city, but it will ensure that instead of all winding up looking like this at the end of a night of drinking and ridiculousness, we all end up like that. Whoa! Look at those amazing effects. It's like I'm working a network news channel. So there you go. Those are three things we didn't have time to talk about today, although I want to get serious for just a second and bring this up. The terror attack in London earlier today. I don't want to be a bit of a downer, but the reason I'm bringing this up is because I've been hearing about this all day, but it's been so hard to find out what actually was happening there. So I found this site. Now this picture, let's get this picture right here. So what ended up happening, dude is driving in his car, goes up on the sidewalk, drives along there, hits approximately 20 pedestrians, putting them in hospital, slams into a guardrail there, storms in through with a large knife, attacks a police officer. That police officer has since died, and then was shot dead. After he was shot dead, they shut down the House Commons, and all the news reports started going around. Motivations, nobody knows. They're still referring to this as an act of terror until they have reason not to. What is interesting, I did notice this, was that yesterday was when the U.S. announced that flights from certain areas, all in the Middle East, coincidentally, people were no longer allowed to travel carrying a laptop into the cabin. They had to check the luggage. Apparently, now I just want to emphasize, I've seen this talked about a lot more on American news sites than in British news sites, but they're saying that there was a lot of topic and conversation and chatter about this on jihadi-leaning message groups. That's something American news sites are saying. I just want to point that out. But I've also read that that it was just an unmotivated attack and somebody who was planning on doing this for a long time. Now, on the whole thing about the laptops in the planes, there was a really interesting note saying that business passengers that travel from the Middle East to the States a lot are not using U.S.-owned airlines as much as they used to before, and this is an effort to get them to stop taking direct flights to the Middle East on predominantly Middle Eastern-owned airlines and get them to start taking American-owned airlines, which tend to fly to Frankfurt, Germany, and then to the Middle East. So who knows? But I did just want to point that out because there's been a lot of chatter about this event happening in London, but I haven't really seen a really good point-by-point breakdown of what happened. So once again, drives onto the sidewalk, crashes here, storms House of Parliament, stabs a police officer, and is then shot. There you go. So 3 + 1 things we didn't have time to talk about today.